is my review of Rising the Shield Hero episode 23. And I just have to say, poor Raftalia. She is trying so hard to be noticed, and Nafumi is just thinking of her tactically. Though she did prove herself best girl once again by getting very drunk in this episode. And as it turns out, you do not want to mess with drunk Raftalia. She is cold and she is powerful. I mean, she literally crushed this huge trained knight in an arm wrestling competition. And then proudly raised her arm as the victor as everyone applauded. That was freaking beautiful and I loved it. But looks like we do have some competition for a new best girl. I'm partially joking, Internet. Please don't kill me. Therese Alexandrite. She is an interesting person. Based on her name alone, I assume she was a member of royalty. Alexandrite, that sounds very regal and noble. And it turns out she's actually from another country, a foreign country that we've apparently never seen anyone from before. This is certainly interesting. I mean, as far as I know, Calmira is part of the kingdom that summoned the four heroes, so I'm surprised that they would allow foreigners to come in and take part in this. I guess it could be a way of, mending fences, letting a princess from another kingdom show up with her knight, I suppose, to deal with some of this. Further proof that she's a princess, or at least member of royalty, is from the bag she gave Nafumi later on. Even with his limited experience, he could tell that the minerals in that bag were incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. And later on, when she paid him for the accessory, it was a ridiculous amount of gold. I mean, seriously, I'd have to guess that's roughly 200 pieces of gold right there, maybe 500. I mean, just to put some context to it, when he was supposed to get the highest reward possible for the Kingdom of Melrimac, it was 500 pieces of gold. That was the highest amount they could give a person. That was their limit. And this could arguably be equal to that amount, so I'm definitely saying she's freaking rich. And even this, she says, isn't enough. She says the work he did is more valuable than all that gold, which either she has the low value of gold or very high value of gemstones, though I'm going to assume gemstones based on basically everything else about her. And her last name's Alexandrite. That's definitely a gemstone. I mean, she literally cries when Nafumi gives it to her. I mean, literally just openly weeping in the streets. Because as she says, it's filled with joy. And I really think I understand that because when Nafumi was talking about it, how he used an oracle crystal he got as the base, I mean, he was smiling, he was excited, he was proud of this work. She could feel all the love and joy for his work that went into making this. She could just see how much he truly loved this craft. Even if it's something he has been working on for a while, she can already tell that he is a master craftsman, which... Can this just be his occupation moving forward? I would very much like that. The shield hero just makes jewelry for the rest of his life. Why not? That could be fun. And then she actually gets mad at Lark for not understanding the beauty of this gem. I mean, she literally gets mad at him, and he's actually a little panicky right here. Some further proof, though, that she's a member of royalty is that she's level 56, meaning that she already got her class upgrade. And I'm fairly certain it was said in a previous episode they could only get a class upgrade with permission of the royal family, or if you're one of the cardinal heroes, but I'm fairly certain she's not one of the four heroes. I mean, I guess it could be sword hero cross-dressing, but I don't think so. And then there's just this spell she cast. It's something else. I beseech thee, power of jewels, far and wide, heed my call and come to me. My name is Therese Alexandrite. My friends be the force that destroys my targets. Bejeweled ruby blaze. I mean, this is an interesting spell, to say the least. For one thing, she's calling on the power of all jewels across the world. And honestly, I thought this was going to be some kind of summoning spell when she first said, and I was super excited, but it turned out to be something equally interesting. So I really do think she's like the princess of a gem-worshipping kingdom or something. She seems to have some kind of deep spiritual bond with gemstones and can even communicate with them. Also, her hair turns red when she casts that spell, which I found very interesting, even though I didn't realize it the first 3 times she did the spell. Because in the opening, you can see a redheaded girl. And this really confused me because I first remember the girl. I'm like, oh, that must be this Treese girl. Then watching him, like, oh, wait, no, she doesn't have red hair, so it can't be her. So we're going to meet another redheaded girl with crazy, powerful magic down the road. And I'm like, oh, wait, no, Teresa's hair changes red. Okay, that really is her. Still not quite sure why her hair changes red. It's like a Super Saiyan mode, I guess. She also makes a very interesting comment. I never even dreamed it'd be so powerful. So the accessory that Nofumi made her is somehow more powerful, meaning he is somehow more skilled at crafting, or the gemstone is more rare than she even realized, and this somehow boosts her powers beyond what she could ever imagined. Though you can't see her eyes here, which is a little concerning. It's always a dark omen when you can't see someone's eyes when they're talking. And then her spell. I mean, Jesus Christ, this spell. Not only did it not hurt Nafumi while he was taking direct hits from it, but it actually lifted the curse on his body. Think about that for a minute. The queen and the entire royal family healers tried and failed to fully remove the curse, and yet this girl's spell did it. Who exactly is she, and how is she this powerful? I really want to know more about her, and I'm hoping we find out in the next 2 episodes. Alright, next let's talk about Larkberg. This was a very interesting scene right here. She somehow went to his scythe weapon, pulled out some kind of magic orb from it, and used that to auto-translate her voice. I mean, this is very similar to how Nofumi says his shield translates for him, which makes me think that somehow this weapon of his is something ancient and powerful, some kind of relic weapon. I don't know, it could have been another attempt to recreate the powers of the cardinal weapons, maybe a failed prototype of them. It makes sense, if she is a queen or a princess or whatever, her guard has some rare ancient weapon at his disposal. And oh my god, this scene though. When Nafumi actually says his name, they literally burst into laughter. And I am very proud of Nafumi for actually defending himself for once. He says, I am the shield hero, which is something he would not have said even like 5 episodes ago. He's never been particularly proud of being the shield hero. In the past, he's never gone out and called himself the shield hero because he knows how much people hate him, how much they despise him, the twisted stories that people have created about him. And this is one twisted story. I mean, their interpretation of the shield hero is interesting. They say he indulges in scams, blackmail, kidnapping, has friends in high places who executes people who get on his bad side. He's the literal devil, and okay, how exactly did they get this image of the shield hero? I mean, I can understand, if they missed the whole trial and all that, so they didn't actually know that Nafumi's name was cleared, but the execution thing, that just recently happened. So somehow they have a mixed message of the shield hero that combines everything he's ever done, even things he's been freed of doing, which is just absolutely bizarre. I'm very curious if he's actually going to convince him and how he's going to do that. But for now, he's just calling him the Shield Kiddo, and I absolutely love that title. It's hilarious. I mean, it's certainly better than Shield Devil. What's more, Lark also apparently has a history of working in ships or being on the sea. I mean, the sky is blue and looks perfect, but he's saying there's a storm brewing. He can tell it just by how the water's acting. That's not something you just know. It's something you gain from experience on boats. And then I just love this part where Lark actually goes out in the middle of the night, try to find Shield Hero because he's worried about him. I couldn't sleep at night if my acquaintances were found dead. I mean, I just love this. I mean, Lark is such a nice guy. And then he invites the Shield Hero for a drink, and of course they end up going to the same bar as all the heroes because apparently this resort town only has one bar. I mean, why not? Oh my god, this right here is probably my favorite scene in the entire episode. I know there's others that other people are going to enjoy, but this one. I never thought the day would come when I could drink and have fun like this. Now, Fumi is happy here. I mean, he's happy, he's content, he's enjoying this world. He's enjoying the people in it. And I honestly think this is the first step to him deciding, you know what? I'm going to stay in this world when the waves are done. I want to stay here. But then we get this scene, and I am very concerned about it. He asks them if they want to team up again, and their expression is almost shock and horror. They're unnerved by this question. I'm not sure if they realized he was the real shield hero and they're trying to, get away from him because they're afraid of him or what, but they are very concerned about something. I'm just not sure what it is. It's really bothered me right here. Inafumi says he wants them to join his party after they're finished. I don't think that's going to happen. I have this very, very dark thought that after all this, it's going to end up in a death battle between Inafumi and Lark, with only one of them walking away alive, and I think that's how they're going to end the season. It's going to be really depressing. Anyway, let's talk about their levels in this episode, because at the start of it, they were all mid-40s, give or take. But by the time they get to the bar, after one day, they're in their 60s. And while we don't see their levels again, halfway through their day partying with Lark, they're in the 70s. So I think it's safe to assume they reached almost 80 by the time this was all said and done. So they nearly doubled their level in the course of about 3 days. Seriously, this place is absolutely freaking insane. Or they've just been doing a really crap job at working on raising their levels. I actually really want to see the other heroes at this point and just compare levels, because that's going to be really funny. I'm also wondering if Philo and Raftalia are qualifying for a second class upgrade. In most games I play, it's usually around level 80 where you get your second class upgrade. So they could actually qualify for that, maybe even before this next wave hits. And we still haven't been told what classes they picked / were forced to pick. So they might not even tell us and just say, okay, this is the second class upgrade they picked. And let me just talk a little bit here, because oh my god. How are they this bad on a ship? I mean, seriously. I mean, they blame Nafumi's overpowered shield. I assume it's either, from all this time in the carriage with Philo, or just because, he's the support class, he's the healer, so he's immune to basically illnesses in general. But, oh my god, they're just absolutely terrible. And Nafumi tries again and again and again to explain things to them, to tell them the truth, to tell them the secret to leveling up. And they just don't. They don't want to listen to that complicated stuff, as they say. And then later on, somehow all of them end up in the exact same spot. I mean, seriously, within a kilometer of each other. And somehow they're all arguing over who should leave, who should be allowed to stay. And Nafumi's just like, this is stupid, we're leaving. And really, none of them think to leave. I mean, this is a really low-level area. They are actually fighting over this really low-level area. It's insane. I mean, they're at a much higher level than Nafumi, so I'm assuming they're not getting that much experience from these fights. And yet they still feel like this is something they should fight over. Just insane. Oh yeah, then Spear Hero got crushed by a giant fish. Because as it turns out, Philo is an excellent swimmer, which was Nafumi's first question, because we haven't actually ever seen her in deep water before. But she's perfectly natural in it. I honestly don't think I've ever seen a chicken swim before, but okay, why not? And even then later on, when the rest of them are taking the boats, Philo's just swimming away. She really does seem to enjoy the water, and I like that. Anyway, then they actually get to the island, and oh god, the heroes actually need to be carried away on stretchers. That's how bad their seasickness got. With Spear Hero trying to apologize to Philo for looking so weak. That was one of my favorite parts. Oh, and the fact that Mine is having to carry him. I'm sure she dropped him more than once. And Nafumi just loves that they suffered so much. That was amusing to me. And then we meet Habenberg, the governor of Calmira, which, yeah, I'm just going to ask, does anyone else think this guy looks creepy? I mean, he just screamed corrupt, evil politician to me. That just might be me. It might be his pointy beard, the dark circles under his eyes, something. But I have a feeling next episode's going to be like, he's not going to want to evacuate the island off the word of the heroes or something. So then we learn a little bit more about Calmira. It's a small group of islands that are bunched together, and it's a tourist destination because of a legend that the previous heroes trained there. Now, Nafumi doesn't actually believe that until he finds an ancient message written in the script of the magic. And he's like, oh, so I guess they really were here. And I guess he learns a new spell, Zweit Aura, which apparently gives a big energy boost to whoever you cast it on, which is interesting. I'm curious to see how that's used down the road. For now, Philo uses it to jump about 30 feet into the air, which is absolutely hilarious, and I love it. So they start grinding some levels, and it's actually ridiculous how much experience they get even from one-shot trash mobs like this. And what's more, they literally spawn endlessly, so Naofumi can just keep grinding essentially forever. I mean, obviously, as he gets, higher and higher level, it's going to be more and more difficult to reach the next level, but at the very least, you can grind for items from the enemies, which you can sell for gold or use them to make new accessories or medicine or whatever. Anyway, we then find out that the weapons for Raftalia and Philo are essentially destroyed. As it turns out, their levels are just too high to use weapons of such low durability. So they say they have to go buy new weapons from Pops for the next wave, but unless he uses the teleport ability, I don't think he's going to have that chance. Instead, he uses the weapons he got from fighting that big boss, which, oh my god, I love these claws on Philo. They are so adorable. I mean, she's freaking Shredder at this point. It's awesome. Then we get to the party, and even Naofumi has to smile. Oh god, then the scene was hilarious. Naofumi ate a cherry or bean or whatever, and this freaked out Lark and everyone else, because apparently, normal people can't eat this without literally passing out. Apparently, you have to dilute one in an entire cask of water before it's even partially drinkable. While Naofumi is just eating them like candy. I mean, even Lark's like, what exactly are you? Ooh, we also see a new ability, at least I think it's a new ability of Naofumi. Hate Reaction. He can literally aggro all the enemies around them and make them attack him. This was a pretty cool spell, I like it. And it feels fairly appropriate for the shield hero to have. There's also this interesting line where they say some weird item dropped from the boss. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be or what it is. I mean, this might be the reason why Lark and Therese stopped partying with the shield hero, because if that's what they were looking for and now they have it, they have something else they need to do. But I'm just not sure. I'm hoping it comes up in the next 2 episodes, because it certainly feels interesting. They just said, we found something really weird, come over and take a look, and they just skipped ahead to the next scene. But now that they've reached a certain level, they decide they're going to take a day off, and oh my god, I just love Raftalia here. The tail wag, it's just so adorable. And it's something we really haven't seen from her in a while, just happily wagging her tail while saying that, oh no, I don't care either way, whatever, I mean, you do need a break. And then we see the swimsuits, and oh my god, Philo, you are freaking adorable. I mean, you are literally an angel right here. It's just so cute. And then Raftalia, oh my god, Raftalia. They really went above and beyond with the suit and designing it. It's beautiful, it's tasteful, it's classy. And in a lot of beach episodes, they have the whole episode where they're at the beach and they're like, okay, we'll just draw a bikini or one piece on them and call it a day. I mean, this is literally a swimsuit we saw for all of a minute, and yet they put so much work and effort into making it beautiful. It just really shows the care they have for this series and for every part of it. I also find it funny, we also saw her taking a look at bikinis earlier, and she's like, no, and she's like shocked and blushing like, I couldn't wear this, and so she got something, it does seem to be the bikini top she got, but there was a whole top covering on top of it. I guess she also got down the road. Something less revealing, something more tasteful for her, which I liked. Anyway, then she instantly covered up that beautiful swimsuit and put on a penguin suit for reasons. Apparently, these penguin suits are scuba suits, which lets them breathe underwater, I guess. I mean, why not? I guess Philo can just hold her breath, but the rest of them need penguin suits. And then, of course, Naofumi, oh, will be impossible to open this door underwater, and then he just touches it like, no, fool, you're the freaking shield here, of course it opens for you. And then we find the Dragon Hourglass, which, concerning, because apparently a wave is coming. And I actually had to compare this to the Dragon Hourglass we saw last week. And originally I couldn't see any difference. I mean, the design's absolutely the same, but look at the top sphere. It is completely full. And yet in this one, the top sphere is completely empty, which means that these 2 Dragon Hourglasses are on completely different schedules. I'm curious how this is for all the Dragon Hourglasses. They're all on a different schedule, so the waves hit at a different time or a different day in each place, or if this one is something different, this one's something unique. Anyway, then they find out they have 48 hours to prepare for the next wave, which, very concerning, very, very concerning. First off, I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that the other three heroes are going to believe him about this. I mean, just think about it. He's going to come in and say, oh yeah, there's a dragon hourglass in a secret underwater temple I just happened to discover, and it says we have 48 hours to prepare for the next wave. You guys should stop leveling up and start working on this. They're going to assume he's just trying to trick them into stopping to level up so he can beat their levels, which I honestly think he might be higher level than them already, which would be funny. I would enjoy that. I would very much enjoy seeing him being higher levels than them. I kind of feel like it's going to be like half the episode, just him trying to convince them, yes, a wave is coming, and then trying to convince them. And the other ways of leveling up are also correct. So they can, boost their levels and skills and rank as much as they can before the next wave hits. I don't think that tourist guy is going to, be keen for letting the island evacuate or whatever. It's an island full of adventurers, all training and leveling up at the same time. So I feel like with a little preparation, they'll be okay in handling this wave. Shield heroes are going to have to lead them. The other heroes are going to need to prepare and level up properly and learn new things. I don't know why, but I really think Lark is going to end up being like an antagonist like Last was in Last Wave. So that'd be very concerning for me. I mean, hopefully we'll find out what that new item was. Hopefully we'll finally see that Soul Eater shield Nifumi got. And hopefully we'll actually see Raftalia and Philo using their new class skills. It was a huge thing of them, upgrading their class. I assumed they'd unlock new skills, new abilities, new something with that, but as of right now, we still don't even know which class they ended up picking. So yeah, 2 episodes left. Next one's definitely going to be preparation, getting ready, cleaning things up, leveling up, unlocking new abilities, pairing medicine, all that stuff, just to get them ready for the wave. And I'm assuming at some point during all this, Lark is going to realize, wait a minute, that guy who keeps telling me he's the Shield hero, and who's hanging out with the other heroes, and who everyone else is calling the Shield hero, might actually be the Shield hero! Which for some reason will make him my mortal enemy for reasons. Assuming he hasn't already figured it out. So, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What was the weird item? Will the other heroes believe him about the upcoming wave? Be sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, peace.